Going to a bar may be more dangerous than you realize. We'll show you why at 11.
Look at it. Tonight, from the Shrine Exposition Center in Los Angeles, it's the 8th Annual American Comedy Awards.
Did you ever find yourself standing in one of the rooms in your house and you can't remember why you went in there?
Isn't he a lady killer?
Acquitted.
Listen to this thing idle.
Well, take it out of gear.
Huh?
Out of gear.
NRA has their cute little bumper sticker. You'll get my gun when you pry it from my cold, dead hand. Whatever.
This is a joke, right?
All human beings connect sex and love, except for men.
God bless America!
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chevy Chase.
Okay. See you back at the ranch. What? We're just friends. Well, it's a heck of a year on television, wasn't it? I mean, in America this year, we heard all about the Menendez brothers getting off, Reginald Denny getting hit, Michael Jackson getting sued, Burt Reynolds getting divorced, and John Bobbitt and I both got cut, so good year. Incidentally, if anybody at Fox ever says they want to put your name on a theater, either change your name to Schubert or get the hell out of town, is all I can say. Anyway, all of that is behind me now, and I hope it's behind you. And here I am hosting the American Comedy Awards, the final act of degradation. And now, let's get on with the most dignified comedy program on television, if you don't count hard copy. And here, to present our first award, is the star of Grace Under Fire, a new hit series on ABC that is so good, it would have hit even if it had been on Fox in my time period. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rhett Butler.
Well, good evening. Thank you, Chevy. Boy, what a difference a year makes. You know me, my friends down there. Last year, I'm sitting in the back with the other comedians, and this year I'm up here with a brand new hair curler, a brand new bus line, and a brand new TV show, and they're all huge, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm not here to blow my own horn. I do that on all the other shows. Instead, I am here to help honor my brothers and sisters of the stand-up comedy circuit, which, as you know, is the toughest road to hoe. Can you say hoe on TV? Anyway, I speak from experience about stand-up comedy because that's what I did for 12 years. We all do that. 52 weeks out of the year, or 14, depending on how many clubs your agent owns. It's for the stand-ups in the room. Thank you. Could I be any more in? Thank you. We get on the plane and sit next to the ubiquitous nursing mother who asks, in a voice not unlike that used to describe a car accident, "What made you want to be a comedian?" Because all the jobs for table dancing executioners were taken. "But doesn't your husband mind you traveling all the time?" No, it's the sex for money part that he hates. After we land the plane and flee in different directions, we're checked into the Motel 2.5, happily ensconced in the Bob Crane suite, where the only magic fingers in the bed are mine, and they are busy trying to pry open the minibar for an $8 can of orange juice. Then We go to the club where we find out that most of the audience is comprised of drunken frat boys who've memorized the last 3 Dice Clay albums and are reciting them busily in unison. And after that, we all go back to the hotel by ourselves and watch other comedians score really big on shows we could never get on despite colorful offerings to ancient wrinkle talent coordinators. And the next day, we get up, all of us, and we do it again. Unless I give the impression there's any other way I would have spent the last 12 years of my life, hell no, I wouldn't have done a damn thing different. There are a bunch of us here who are stand-ups, and I'm friends with all the nominees, the men and the women of the awards tonight. The nominees were chosen from comedy clubs in America. The top suggestions were sent clips to Comedy Central and shown on short attention span theater. In the first weekend, 250,000 people called in with votes. And before I go on, I wanted to say I'm announcing the best male stand-up comedian. One of the nominees is no longer with us, and no matter who wins, I think I speak for all of us when I say that part of tonight will belong to Bill Hicks. I know all of you didn't know him, but anybody who saw Bill Hicks could not fail to see that we were seeing art at its finest, humanity at its biggest, and stand-up comedy at its best. He showed us all a little more about the job we love, and we've lost a friend and a true inspiration. So the first nominee will show this clip, Bill Hicks, ladies and gentlemen.
I guarantee you that Reginald Denny, that truck driver, never gonna stop again as long as he lives. Can be an old woman with a baby carriage crossing the road. He's
The other favorites are Carrot Top.
Gotta do this one. This is my favorite joke in the whole world. You think you look like an idiot? Check it out. I'm the Wendy's girl. Wendy's girl.
Will Durst.
I think Barreau is just French for none of the above. That was his entire campaign theme. I'm not damn. And 19% of America went, good enough for me, man.
Dom Herrera.
To me, you're just big bone. I love that big bone compound. You know, I'm not really fat, I'm very big bone. Yeah, isn't that amazing how you have those big fat bones in your ass?
Boy. George Wallace.
And they give you a satellite view of the whole world. I don't need to know what's going on in Timbuktu. I want to know what's going on right here. I want to see my weatherman with his head sticking out of the window. If his head is wet, I know it's raining.
And the most votes went to Carrot Top.
Thanks. I don't know where to start. I can't believe I need to hold a prop, I guess, first. I'm glad Whitney Houston wasn't nominated for this. I know that. I'd just like to thank my management team, I guess Brad Greenberg, Ken Phillips, Matt LeBeau, who's sitting with me, Bill Gross, Charles Brocola, my friend Eric. I don't know what else to say except thanks very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Please welcome Mr. Jonathan Winters.
Good evening. That's very commercial, but it's standard throughout the world. It's one thing to be a presenter, which is fun, and another thing, it's even more fun, obviously, is to be a receiver. And you get the award and go home, and I thought I'd give you a couple of types. Person from a foreign land, and because of the seriousness of kidding of any ethnic groups, we just leave it a foreigner. And who obviously is just dying to express himself and say, I so happy for you, me, war, and into we to home.
Gono cekana mali da bonina ineri bakore wara salute cari muchik corozala.
He's from Ecuador. Then you always have a person, believe it or not, I've been a part of this at one time myself, under heavy medication. I can't tell you how happy I am to be here tonight. The man and woman who brought me here have gone. In the category of female stand-up comic audience award, the 5 favorites are Margaret Cho.
I taught Sunday school for 2 years and I got fired. I abused my authority. I used to teach class like this. Okay, if one more person talks, everybody is going to hell.
Diane Ford.
Would I sleep with the real Robert Redford for $1 million? Yes. And give him a coupon for a future visit.
Stephanie Hodge.
If you're over 30 and you're walking down the beach, you feel somebody tapping you on the back of your knee, chances are it's your ass.
Kathleen Madigan.
They actually have some crime in Iowa now. I was going to the mall, and these guys said, well, you better be careful, ma'am. We have gangs now. I'm like, wait, you guys, it's still Iowa. I mean, what, are they going to come at me on a John Deere or something?
Margaret Smith.
Ma'am, I'm at the ma'am stage of my life. You know, you shouldn't be called ma'am till you've had your first mammogram. You ever get one of these things? You're in one room, your breast is in the other.
And the most votes went to Margaret Cho.
This is totally unexpected. Thank you very much. I didn't really prepare, but I'd like to thank Karen Tosick, Michael Green, Anise Parker, Sandy Gallen, Beth Bealey, Tracy Weitzman, Scott Silverman, Dennis Hensley, my dates, and Tolly. I love you. Thanks, Karen Kilgariff. Thank you very much.
The American Comedy Awards will continue with Joe Pesci after this message.
The 8th Annual American Comedy Awards, brought to you by the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation, and Sears. Come see the many sides of Sears.
Here is Academy Award and Comedy Award winner Joe Pesci.
Last year on this show, they gave me an award. Well, I wasn't really on the show. I was out on location doing a film, and they brought the award to me. They surprised me in the hallway of my hotel at 1 a.m. in the morning. And then they showed the clip on this show. I watched it on the air, and I was really upset. I thought that this year I would come on and formally thank you, because last year, it made me look like such a jerk. I'm sure they still have this clip, and I would like them to play it or else. Are you guys shooting something here? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we are, Mr. Pesci. Congratulations. You've won this award tonight.
Come on, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Don't play games, all right?
No, no, really, I'm serious. This is an award for you.
Get out of my way.
Sorry, we're on television.
Yeah, right, good.
No, really, all around the world, coast to coast,
follow me all
everybody.
the way, I'm telling you now, you follow me all the way to my room, you get hit with something, that's your problem.
Here, this is a...
Hi. Thanks, I think you're funny too.
Mr. Pesci, we're here just to get an acceptance speech for you for this award.
Yeah, why don't I know about it then? I would know about it.
Well, I know it's early and it's supposed to be a surprise.
Yeah, right. It's
Actually.
A surprise. You put lights up here and everything, you're gonna get in trouble.
No, really, take it.
All right, I'm taking it. This is really an award.
Yes, sir, it is.
Why did you do it like this? We're on now live.
Yeah, we are. We had to.
I'm very embarrassed. I'm appreciative, and thank you very much. It's the best I could do 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, what they didn't show you was that after the door was slammed, I came back out and gave a very passionate, warm, eloquent, charming, tearful, emotional acceptance speech. Show that. I'm very serious now. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. See what I mean? Still brings a tear to my eye. In the category Funniest Supporting Male in a Motion Picture, the 5 favorites are, from Mrs. Doubtfire, Pierce Brosnan.
I have a home in London. I was born there. What part of England are you from?
All over, really.
Yes. Accent's a little kind of muddled.
Really? Well, so is your tan.
From Groundhog Day, Chris Elliott.
He might be okay. Well, no, probably not now.
From Mrs. Doubtfire, Harvey Firestein.
Could you make me a woman?
Honey, I'm so happy.
From Dave, Charles Grodin.
So what can we do? You know, I see a lot of places you could say, but, you know, I can't make those choices. I mean, I'm not the president. I mean, you know, I'm not the one, you know, pretending to be the president.
From Addams Family Values, Christopher Lloyd.
I'm a virgin.
You are? What's that?
It's someone who's never experienced physical love.
Oh, you mean with another person?
From Much Ado About Nothing, Michael Keaton. And the winner is Charles Grodin.
This is really, it's a little awkward, but earlier in the program, they forgot to have everybody rise and...
I just want to watch how someone else
No, watch
does
how
it,
I work it.
in case I ever get
Watch
a
this,
chance.
watch this. They had forgotten...
Say whatever you want to
I
say.
will. They had forgotten to have everybody rise and sing the national anthem. Even though we're in the middle of the show, they've asked me, so, would you... No, I'm joking. Joe and I have been seeing each other for a while, and
Chucky, baby, go.
we've chosen this moment to... we both play very butch, and particularly me. And yet we just want to say that, you know, we can do other things, and you should think of us this way.
Coat doesn't look good. You can take as much time as you want, Chuck.
It was my understanding that this was the American Academy of Humor, and...
Oh, wait a minute, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. No, I'm teasing. I'm sorry.
I flew out here today, and I'm actually flying 6,000 miles because I thought it was the American Academy of Humor, a division of the Academy Awards. This is the American... What is it?
Funniest...
And nobody told me that Chevy Chase was hosting tonight. I'm careful with my career. You know, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's heavier than hell. I can't take it back in the suitcase. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Please welcome the star of the new hit series, The Nanny, Fran Drescher.
Hi, one and all. Don't adjust your TV sets. This is really my voice. In fact, I'm so excited. I'm sitting at a table with Harvey Fierstein and Rosie Perez, so we decided to call it the Triborough Bridge, and as you can tell, it's congested. In fact, I was buying a pair of shoes just today for this event, and the sales girl said to me, "Oh, I just want to tell you that we love your movies and you're so funny." And I said, "Thank you so much. I'm on a new series now called The Nanny on Wednesday nights. Please watch it." She said, "Oh, we all will. And by the way, I just loved you in My Cousin Vinny." So I charged the shoes to Marissa Tomei. All righty, now in the category of funniest supporting female in a motion picture, from Addams Family Values, Joan Cusack.
He likes you.
I'm good with my hands.
From Addams Family Values, Carol Kane.
Bingo! This kid knows that something's not right around here unless Mr. comes back. We're talking Dimples.
Not in this house.
He could become a lawyer.
From Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, Kathy Najimy.
Sandra, I know you have a question burning inside there.
You can't answer any questions about sex.
Oh, don't be so sure. You don't have to bite the donut to know it's sweet.
From Sleepless in Seattle, Rosie O'Donnell.
The guy could be a crackhead, a transvestite, a flasher, a junkie, a chainsaw murderer, or someone really sick. Someone like my Rick.
From Shortcuts, Lily Tomlin.
Yeah.
Could we have, what was it in the bottom drawer over there you were getting?
What, butter?
Yeah, can we have a little more butter, please?
Is it your face or your neck just threw up?
And the winner is, oh, this is so thrilling. The winner is Lily Tomlin in Shortcuts. Oh, I love this lady.
Thank you.
I have to hand this to you. Here.
Please. I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you, Fran. This is an honor, especially since I'm one of the few actors that didn't appear nude in the film, and you always kind of expect them to get most of the attention. I especially want to thank Huey Lewis. I want to thank Huey Newton too, but for those formative years, I want to thank Huey Lewis for especially not appearing in any of my scenes, and I might say to give the same nod to Julianne Moore. And I especially want to thank Tom Waits because, I mean, if you're going to be drunk in a trailer in Downey, with Tom Waits, it can't get much more fun. Thank you.
Coming up next, John Ritter and Mary Tyler Moore. And now, the star of the hit series, Hearts of Fire, Mr. John Ritter.
Thank you very much. You know, we're here tonight saluting today's comedians. My own favorite style is physical comedy. For instance, this is a piece of glass, not funny. This is a record, not funny. This is Charlie Schmidt, not funny. Put the three of them together, now you've got funny.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. But when I see you hanging about with anyone, it's not unusual, it happens every day. No matter what you say, why can't this crazy love be more?
much. He seemed a little flat tonight, but... when we talk about physical comedy, we must first start with the genius of the little tramp, Charlie Chaplin.
Scenes like this ushered in the golden era of shtick, where words were unnecessary for artists like Harold Lloyd, the Keystone Cops, Max Sennett, and Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. But physical comedy really came to the masses when television exploded every Tuesday night and the world stopped to watch Uncle Milty. Then one day, Dick Van Dyke brought style, class, and charm to the basic pratfall. And later on, this guy, Tim Conway, every week on The Great Carol Burnett Show, could take something like a cannon with a pair of baggy pants and have a ball. Fortunately, there are a number of performers today who can make us laugh with a move, a shrug, or pratfall.
His buttocks are sublime.
Well, let's get him in the studio today.
Here's the butter.
Slide it. Slide down.
Pretty powerful little thing, isn't it?
Mark, hold it back. Mark!
When I was just a baby, I grew up idolizing the comedic dexterity of this man. Some of you may remember Chevy Chase. Here are some of his earlier falls. And I honestly believe this old-timer inspired one of my own personal favorite scenes.
Perfectly rational explanation.
Thank you. But nowhere is the art of physical comedy flourishing as it does on stage nightly at the Doolittle Theater, when David Shiner and Bill Irwin dazzle audiences with their hit show, Full Moon. To present our next award, here is almost the entire cast of that show, Bill Irwin. Billy, I think it's time for you to go. It's a network thing. Sorry.
All right, John, I'll go. But I won't go quietly.
No idea how he does that with his body. I think there's machinery involved. Now it's my great pleasure to present the woman who 8 years ago won the first Lifetime Achievement Comedy Award. She can still turn the world on with her smile. Not only that, she's the only winner who can be traded over the counter. MTM means Mary Tyler Moore.
Industry has its equivalent of a Lifetime Achievement Award. But imagine being honored because you've spent your career making people laugh. I mean, you start out, you feel kind of guilty taking the money. Oh, and for you beginners watching tonight, you do get over that. The comedians mentioned most frequently for this year's Lifetime Achievement Award are Milton Berle, George Carlin, Bob Hope, and Bob Newhart. But the man most people selected for this year's Lifetime Achievement Award is Dick Van Dyke. The reasons that Dick has such a special meaning to me is because, well, like you, I've been watching him since I was very small. During his career, Dick has conquered every medium, starring on Broadway and in films like Bye Bye Birdie, Mary Poppins, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and a number of dramatic roles. These days, he stars in Diagnosis Murder. Obviously, I have a particular fondness for a program called The Dick Van Dyke Show. Rob was a terrific father and as loving a husband as you can be with twin beds. Dick's good looks and marvelous gift for physical comedy made Rob a handsome, debonair klutz. During its 5-year run, The Dick Van Dyke Show won 14 Emmys. Some say it's still the best situation comedy of all time. Of course, some say it's one of the 2 best situation comedies of all time. And through the miracle of cable, a whole new generation gets to watch us every night, looking the way we did 30 years ago. Just so young and spunky. Oh, boy, you could just get sick from it. But recently, I was overjoyed when they asked me to personally select some of what I think are the funniest moments of the show. And here they are.
Honey, why?
Why? Well, yesterday morning, and I kissed you, and you said, don't do that. And you came down and back with your yucky shirt and the orange juice with the flash of pencil titties and the gray hair and the hormone marks and the general yuckiness.
Isn't he cute?
I scream, you scream, we
the table. Isn't that something?
I'll get it back.
No, you have your own. I don't care. I don't care. If I do get the cold, it's gonna be there. If I never pick it up, leave it terrible. 'Cause I don't care. Yeah! Wasn't it great? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce one of my favorite ex-husbands, Mr. Dick Van Dyke.
Thank you. Well, doll. Mary, that was very sweet of you. It was a wonderful introduction. Couldn't you have chosen something that I was in? I love it when she She's still beautiful. This really blindsided me. You don't know how many phone calls I've had and letters from people I don't even know demanding a recount. I mean, I'm so young for all of this. I should just take this over and put it on Carl Reiner's mantle and leave it, but I'm not going to because it means too much to me. I've loved comedy and comedians all my life, and I still can't believe that I got a chance to do it for a living. But I never, for some reason, was allowed to hang out with the comedians. I was always the nerd comedian, and none of you guys would ever let me hang out with you. And I promise you that from now on, I want to go out and do something really funny after this. This is particularly important to me since I am not really the funniest one in my family. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Jerry Van Dyke, Lonnie Anderson, and Thea Vidal next. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Susan Potter and Miss Thea Vidal.
Wow. It's such a pleasure to be a part of a celebration of the funniest performers in comedy. By the way, Thea, I've seen your show. I love it. I think it's wonderful. It's on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. What network?
ABC. Love it, Thea. Thank you, Susan. And I think everybody has seen your show too, child.
Thea.
It's on at 8, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, all day Friday, most of Saturday, and it's on channel 36, 24, 38, and those are not my measurements.
Well, they could be, Thea, if you followed my simple plan. Stop the insanity. I know it's pathetic, isn't it? A plug at the Comedy Awards is pathetic.
Baby, stop the insanity is what you should have said to your hairdresser.
I sleep with him. He's my husband. Now, Thea, it's time for us to present our next presenter. Let's present him.
No, baby girl. I'm still checking out the nominee. I think I need a little exercise. Where is that Jack Nicholson? Come to mama, darling. You know what they say, once you go black, you never come back. Hey!
Thea, look, Thea, stop.
No, this year, this next person went back to work as a co-star on the hit series Nurses. Please welcome Miss Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah.
Good evening. I'm Roseanne Arnold. I finally finished the makeover. In the category of funniest supporting actor in a television series from Seinfeld, Jason Alexander.
All right, we got the wine. Aren't we lucky? We got wine. Whoopie-whoa! Imagine if we didn't bring the wine. We'd be shunned by society. Outcasts. Where's your wine? Get out!
From Saturday Night Live, Phil Hartman.
I read your statements. Mr. Mephistopheles, I'm warning you. You may hold dominion over the nether regions, but I run this court. Is that clear?
From Seinfeld, Michael Richards.
Here's to feeling good all the time.
From the Larry Sanders Show, Rip Torn.
Listen, I'm so upset last night, I had to take a Halcyon.
Aren't there side effects of that stuff, Artie?
Sure, I saw Buddy Ebsen's head floating over my dresser.
From Coach, Jerry Van Dyke.
Say hello to your Uncle Dover. Say hello to your Uncle Dover.
Now help me find a pacifier. Come on.
Okay, Hayden, what's it look like?
It looks like a nipple.
It's been a long time, Hayden.
And the winner is... Rip Torn in the Larry Sanders Show.
People ask me how I got on the comedy train. Thank God I did. My late wife, Geraldine Page, used to tell her friends when they said what a rotten guy I was, she said, yeah, okay, but he's a funny rotten guy. And Gary Shandling used to go jogging together, and Gary had me up and interviewed the hell out of me and improvised and everything else. And he said, I must have got a lot of work out of defending your life. And I said, not a damn job. He said, well, you got this one. So thanks to Gary and everybody, and my late mom, Thelma Torn, who was such a funny gal. She always told the truth, except when she talked about her son, she exaggerated a little bit. She used to say, we went to Hollywood. Rip took all his kids and me when he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in Cross Creek. I said, no, Mom, Jack won that. She said, well, everybody thinks you won it. You won the nomination. And then in the last days of her life, she said to the nurse, she says, he was at the Emmys and he won the Best Supporting Actor in a comedy series. And I said, Mom, Michael Richards won that award. So I told that at her memorial, and so she really fixed me good. Here's for my mom, Thelma, John, and Jerry. Thanks a lot.
From the hit series Coach, Jerry Van Dyke.
We're both getting older, and I just think I should say this before it's too late. I love my brother. You had my vote a long time ago, pal, to this late coming. Is a great brother and one of the biggest talents to ever come into this business. Lifetime Achievement Award. I love that. The way things have been going for me, I should get an award for just achieving a life. I'm here to present, this is the second year in a row I've been nominated, and the second year in a row I've walked away with nothing but gas. It's okay. It's just to be nominated is an honor. I'm here to present. I was nominated for 3 Emmys too, and I didn't get poop. But it's better to, it's not how you play the game. So I'm here. I'm here to present the award for the funniest. I think I know what it is. A lot of people look at me and think I'm successful. I got a hit series, Fast Women, Fast Cars, Heidi Fleiss Connection, and they think that. But you still get the jokers who come up to me and say, "Hey, my mother, the car." Makes me sick. I'll tell you, it just makes me sick. Okay, in the category of the funniest supporting female in a television series, the nominees are from Roseanne, Sandra Bernhard.
I just saw the saddest thing.
Oh, what is it, Nance?
See that old lady over there? The bent gray one?
I see her.
I have that same dress.
From Seinfeld, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
You faked with me?
Yeah.
You faked with me?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
You faked it.
Not bad, huh?
What about the breathing, the panting, the moaning, the screaming?
Fake.
From Murphy Brown, Faith Ford.
I can't help but think there's a part of you that still wonders if you're still attractive to men. You know, after you've reached a certain age and gone through childbirth.
From Roseanne, Sarah Gilbert.
I'm not going back to that house just so you can torture me.
Wrong. That is exactly why you're going back there. You're in big trouble, and your punishment is not going to be sex with your boyfriend.
Well, obviously, you've never had sex with my boyfriend.
From Roseanne, Laurie Metcalf.
Mom, I'm pregnant. I went out with a guy I hardly know. We had sex for hours, and I got pregnant. And I'm not going to marry him.
And the winner is Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld.
Thank you. If I never do anything else in my career, I will be profoundly satisfied and most delighted to have been a part of Seinfeld. I'd like to thank NBC and Castle Rock and Howard West and George Shapiro and wonderful Larry David and my co-workers, Jerry Seinfeld, Jason Alexander, and Michael Richards, whom I adore, and Bill Melamed, Judy Hupplin, Laurie Jonas, and the most wonderful people I know, Brad and Henry Hall. Thank you. Good night.
Stay tuned for Beatrice Arthur, Harvey Fierstein, and Rita Rudner. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Beatrice Arthur and Mr. Harvey Fierstein.
Good evening. Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
Don't you lower your voice to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Beatrice and I are up here together this evening for one reason.
Yes, so people can see we are not the same person. No, now you can say that you've seen both of us in the same room.
Well, everyone gets so confused because we have so much in common.
Yes. We were both passed over for the lead in The Little Mermaid.
And, of course, Estelle Getty played my mother in Torch Song Trilogy on Broadway for 8 years.
And, of course, she was my mother on Golden Girls for 7 years. What?
You stole my mother.
You stole my voice.
Well, you stole my act.
You stole my kaftan.
You stole my masseur.
You stole my shtick.
You stole my shtup.
I did?
Twice.
I don't remember that, no.
Well, he does.
In the category of funniest female performer in a television special, the 5 stars are...
From the Carol Burnett Show, a reunion, Carol Burnett.
From a gala for the president at Ford's Theater, Whoopi Goldberg.
Stand-up spotlight, Rosie O'Donnell.
From the 45th Annual Emmy Awards, Paula Poundstone.
From Tracy Ullman Takes on New York, Tracy Ullman.
And this year's favorite is... The winner is Tracy Ullman. And Tracy Ullman Takes on New York.
Hello, Tracy
Tracy Ullman doing yet another classic I Can't Be With You Tonight because I'm here in London taking comedy lessons from the royal family. And I'm here in Trafalgar Square trying to find an American tourist with the Elvis sunglasses and the polyester leisure suit to present me with my American Comedy Award for Takes on New York. But we found Reb. Here's Reb. Where are you from, Reb?
New York, Midtown.
Yeah, New York, Midtown. And you're going to present me with my...
American Comedy Award for Best Special.
Yeah, that's right.
Congratulations.
What's this? This is kind of like a Hitchcock type of thing.
We have more.
Well, I've got all these sort of things in my home already.
We have that.
George Slaughter, you're such a cheapskate. You didn't even send a lump of lucite over. Oh, this is great. Thank you very much.
And this one,
Thank
too.
you. And Nelson's Colin. It's so adorable. Thank you very much, anyway. I'm sorry I can't be with you. I had a great time making Takes on New York, which my husband produced. I love working with him because I can boss him around. And I will be with you soon. I'm homesick. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Wave, Reb. This will be on the TV Guide front cover.
And now, please welcome Miss Rita Rudner.
Thank you very much. I'm here tonight to present the award for the best male in a television comedy special because, of course, I am an expert on men. I've been married for 5 years now, which is quite an achievement in Hollywood. In Hollywood, when you meet a man, the first question you ask yourself is, I don't know, is this the man I want my children to spend their weekends with? I love coming to the awards, too, because I love to look at what all the women are wearing, because women, we really go all out. Men, not so much. Women, our whole identities are wrapped up in what we wear. You never see a man go to a formal affair and say, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I think I'm going to die. Quick, quick, get me out of here before someone sees me. There's another man wearing a black tuxedo. They're happy. If they all look alike, it means they haven't made a mistake. Tonight, for the funniest man in a television special, the 5 nominees are from Comedy Hall of Fame, Jason Alexander.
That's me, I just keep them.
From Live at the Paramount, George Carlin.
Where do we get our values from? I do not understand our values. By the way, speaking of American values, aren't we about due to start bombing some small country that only has a marginally effective air force?
From They Shoot HBO specials, don't they? Dennis Miller.
Nice to be here in Washington, D.C., eclectic little city. Met some friends for a drink last night at a lesbian bar called the No Fly Zone.
From the 65th Annual Academy Awards, Billy Crystal.
But it has been a great year for all kinds of movies this year. Big Hollywood extravaganzas like A Few Good Men, the J. Edgar Hoover story.
From Comedy Store's 20th anniversary, Robin Williams.
And the winner is Billy Crystal for the 65th Annual Academy Award.
Watch this. Clippity-clop, 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 bang. Clippity-clop, 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 bang. What? It's an Amish drive-by shooting. Hello? Hello? Am I on? What's this? Bang. Bang. It's a Nicholas Brothers drive-by shooting. What's this? Hup, 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 bang. It's a Step Brothers drive-by shooting. Sorry I can't be with you tonight, but isn't it better I'm not? Hi, thank you very much for this lovely award. I'm sorry I can't be with you tonight, but I'm taping this acceptance speech. Yeah, I can't be with you in Los Angeles tonight, but I'm really far away in Beverly Hills. See, that's not funny either. It should be that my neighbor's in the hospital. No, maybe not. It's not good because there was an aftershock. Hi, I'm sorry I can't be with you tonight, but I just don't care. That's very insincere.
No, that was sincere.
That was sincere, but no, you can't. Thank you. Thank you for this. I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you tonight, but I had a dental appointment that I couldn't change. This guy is so good. He gives you a shot, you don't even feel it. Look at this. Thank you very much. I am really shocked and delighted. I'm just sitting here watching the show, and this thing's on my desk. Unbelievable. I was very excited to win for last year's Oscars. And quite honestly, if I had known I was going to win for last year's show, I would have done the show this year. Timing. But I just want to thank everybody with the Oscar show, Gil Cates and Jeff Margolis and the staff and the great crew who keeps me at the right podium. The reason I'm talking quickly is since Mr. Sinatra got cut off at the Grammys, it could happen to anybody, and I don't want anything like that to happen to me, so I would just like to thank.
Coming up, John Larroquette, and from Wings, Tim Daly and Stephen Weber. Ladies and gentlemen, from the high-flying series Wings, Tim Daly and Stephen Weber.
Hi, I'm Stephen Weber from the high-flying comedy series Wings. And I'm Tim Daly, most recently in the TV movie Witness to the Execution. Right, very controversial. I saw that. Go on. Right. I was also in the TV movie Ambush in Waco. Anyway, Stephen and I are here tonight Timmy. What? What? Come on. No. Well, I mean, listen, I'm not coming up here and I'm not, showing my list of credits, my resume or anything. What's the point? The point is that we're on the same show, right? We're on the high-flying series Wings, right? And you're the cute, funny guy. I'm the other cute, funny guy. Steve, that's the whole point. The reason I play roles like David Koresh is that I'm tired of being typecast as the cute, funny guy. All right. Tired of that. Okay. So now when I get offered a part, it's much more cutting edge. Like right now, I'm up for the lead in the John Bobbitt story. No, you can't do that because you're married. What's that have to do with it? Well, they're looking for somebody who's unattached. I was originally up for that role, but that part was too small. Well, Steve, I hate to cut you off. That's okay. But we got some serious business to take care of. All right. Sorry. It's okay. In the category of funniest male performer in a television series, the top 5 favorites are... From Home Improvement, Tim Allen.
Shop prepares you for women. Huh? You learn how to cut wood. A sever finger. You learn pain. And you're ready for women.
From Roseanne, John Goodman.
Oh, here's a credit card for emergencies. You can only use it once because your grandma doesn't know we have it.
From Frasier, Kelsey Grammer.
And though washing one's hands 20 to 30 times a day would be considered obsessive compulsive, please bear in mind that your husband is a coroner.
On the Late Show with David Letterman.
You can put the spirit of Lilyhammer into your toolbox with this practical souvenir. It's right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's ready to go. It's a lot of fun. It's the figure skating drill bit. Take a look at that.
From Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld.
No means no.
Look, who you kidding? You come up to my apartment with your table and your little oils, and I'm not supposed to expect anything? You're a massage teaser.
And the winner is David Letterman. Late Show with David Letterman.
From the John Larroquette Show, John Larroquette.
Good evening. It is a thrill to be here on one of the great awards show. For me, this is right up there with the Jackson Family Honors. Now, there's a prime example of the medium of television boldly going where no man had even thought it worthwhile going before. Boy. This is ABC, right? What is this, the awards broadcasting company here? Okay, let me get this straight. We used to have the Oscars, right, and the Emmys. That was kind of it. Now we've got the Grammys, the Tonys, the American Music Awards, the Country Music Awards, the Golden Globe Awards, the People's Choice Awards, the ESPYs, MTV. I could go on, but I won't, because that lady's hair is blocking the prompter. But why don't we just end this whole thing and say this, that I think that everyone should be eligible for an award. Every profession we should have now with the super highway of information coming beaming into our households. There should be a 24-hour-a-day awards channel where every profession would have its own awards show. right? Then at the end of the season, we'd have an awards playoff, right? All right, you got an Oscar, I got an Emmy, whatever, all right? Let's say you go up against the Welders of America. We show a clip from your movie, and we watch this guy slap together a battleship. The judges decide. The welder wins. Sorry, his job is really important. Then you go on to the next round, where he challenges the dentist. And the winner of that goes on to, like, the Best Human Being award. Having said that, I think we should get on with the nominees in this category. The funniest female performer. Let me warn you, though, not to let this go to your head, because in the next round, you'll have to go against, like, the funniest woman golfer or something, probably. In this category, funniest female performer in a television series, the 5 favorites this year are, from Cheers, Kirstie Alley.
Okay, hubby, don't you stop loving me. I married a plumber.
From Roseanne Arnold.
Afternoon, people. That is a safe term, isn't it? I wouldn't want to offend you ladies.
And I wouldn't want to offend you either, you balding albino idiot.
From Murphy Brown, Candice Bergen.
You know, that's very cute, but it's not nice to mimic someone.
Knock it off! Yeah, get up!
Hey, you're hurting my friend.
From Grace Under Fire, Brett Butler.
No, kitten, you should feel honored. We don't usually let women play poker with us, you know? They don't know how to bet or bluff.
Look, Zippy, you can fake an orgasm you can raise on a pair of twos.
From Mad About You, Helen Hunt.
Here, it slants. Whoa! I'm here, I'm telling you.
I don't feel it because there's no slant.
You don't feel it? You've lived here all these years.
It's
Every
like
time I come in here, whoa!
You know, I think it's the bottom.
I'm not even as tall as I am down here up here. I come on like
And this year's favorite is Helen Hunt in Mad About You.
Thank you. Well, certainly I would like to thank my gorgeous acting partner, Paul Reiser, who, there you go, who not only co-created the show, but it was his idea to hire me, so I'd really like to thank him. I'd like to thank Danny Jacobson, who runs the show and whose humor and sense of romance make me very proud to work on it. All of our writers, who just, every actor knows how nice it is to work on material you believe in, and they're just very, very, very good. Our cast, our crew, Candice Bergen, who keeps voting for me for every award and hoping I'll win. Thank you very much. And whoever the people are who give these, I really want to thank you. Thank you very much.
Still to come, Chevy Chase and Candice Bergen.
We recently lost a very dear friend who was also one of the most talented men in the field of comedy. His name was John Candy. And we loved him. And fortunately, we were able to get this. This is one of my favorite scenes from all of his movies, a little-known picture called Going Berserk. And really all you need to know is that John has been handcuffed to a fellow prison escapee who has prevailed upon John to come along as he says goodbye to his girlfriend. Just take a look at this.
Oh, did my big Mohammed miss me?
Oh, baby, Mohammed missed you.
How much did he miss?
Oh, I miss the smell of your hair, the taste of your neck.
Don't waste it.
Oh, no. Hey, man, you got to go. Why? Now. Oh, don't. Oh, come on. Bye. I won't do it. Thank you. Let's jump to it, baby. About how long? But not long, man. Get out of here.
Hey, give me a hand there.
Yeah, would you
sure.
hold this while I'm going to it?
No problem.
If you don't think you could do physical comedy, boy, that is about as good as it gets. John first came to our attention as part of a comedy institution that's currently celebrating its 35th anniversary, Second City. During its 34-year history, Second City has spawned some of the world's funniest comic actors, writers, and directors. Two of the original cast were Mike Nichols and Elaine May. Others include Alan Arkin, Ed Asner, Gilda Radner, the very young John Candy and Dan Aykroyd with a mustache, and Billy Murray, and John Belushi, Jim Belushi, Shelley Long, Robert Klein, Andrea Martin, David Steinberg, and of course, my good friend Marty Short. Here are just a few moments from Second City.
Tonight we're going to be talking about one of the most common sexual dysfunctions in women today, the inability to fake orgasms. It's a good one.
Dad and I are trying to say, dears, whatever the problem is, we are behind you 100%.
Honey, we love you. Don't ever forget that.
Okay.
Spit it out.
I want to be a mime.
You ungrateful little bitch.
The management has asked me to announce that tomorrow night, the Dyslexic Theater will be performing here. They'll be doing their production of Annie Get Your Nug. You're invited to come if you feel that it's appropriate.
Look, a penis. There's penis. Male reproductive sexual organ. Oh! Let's read it again. No, look, I'm rectum.
Dr. Craig, Dr. Taylor, please report to surgery.
And I'm going to be talking here with a few guests, the first of which is the chairperson of the...
May I correct you just a moment? The chairwoman. I enjoy being a girl.
All right.
No, Dad, I couldn't get high with you.
Oh, too proud to have a joint with your dad?
No, I feel funny.
Ashamed to have a smoke with the old man?
I'm
huh?
not...
You're gonna get it. Have a smoke with me and you're gonna like it. Here, put that in your mouth. No, the other end, you moron. There. Suck back on that and head for freedom.
I'm not feeling any kind of effect. When do I start feeling some sort of effect in some way of... Dad, something just shot across my eyes!
Son, it's tracer bullets. It's the police. Get down, get down! Get off the floor, you little wimp. Get up, get up.
I think I need another puff.
Have another puff. It'll be good for you.
Dad,
What?
I hear dogs.
Dogs, son? Dogs?
Yes.
Police dogs! The cops are back! Get down! Get down!
Tonight we are honoring one of the founding members of the Second City family with this year's Creative Achievement Award. Here to present that signal honor, Murphy Brown's kind-hearted twin, Candy Bergen.
Good evening. Every year, the American Comedy Awards presents the Creative Achievement Award, a special award honoring a lifetime of, obviously, creative achievement. In the past years, this award has been given to actors, writers, producers, and directors. Now, in Hollywood, when someone is both an actor and, say, a director, they're called a hyphenate. And when someone performs and directs and writes, there's a name for that too, a triple threat. But in the rare case when one person performs, writes, directs, produces, not to mention does stand-up, improvisation, and even mime, and does them all superbly, there's only one name for that, Mike Nichols. I was lucky enough to be directed by Mike twice so far. In the film Carnal Knowledge, a dark exploration of the destructive sexual relationship between men and women, and on Broadway in Hurly Burly, a savage portrayal of the pain the sexes inflict on each other. The fact that both of these were brilliant comedies is enough to qualify Mike for this award. But Mike's work proves that his artistry spans the spectrum from the light comedy of Barefoot in the Park, The Odd Couple, and Working Girl, to the darker social comedy of The Graduate, to the human drama of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf and Silkwood. And that's why Mike is getting this award tonight. Mike began as a comedian, but along the way, he has realized the dream of everyone who ever asked an audience for a laugh. He's a comedian who is taken seriously. This extraordinary story began with what Mike calls the average childhood of a Jewish kid in Nazi Germany. His Russian father, who was a physician, and his German mother fled to the United States with Mike and his brother when Mike was 7. When he lost his father a few years later, he decided to become a doctor too. But upon entering the University of Chicago pre-med school, he found out he was unable to deal with the dissection of cadavers and joined their theater company instead. He was among the founders of the Compass Theater in Chicago, which became Second City, where he met Elaine May, and his life moved in a new direction.
And you remember that Mommy loves you?
I love you too, Mommy.
Goodbye, baby.
Goodbye, Mommy.
In 1960, they opened their own Broadway show, which was sold out for a year and led to the recording of the first of many Grammy-winning albums. After this, Mike and Elaine went their separate ways, and Mike turned to directing. His first Broadway show in 1963 was Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park, for which he won his first Tony Award. Following this with Neil Simon's The Odd Couple, he went on to direct more than 24 hit plays. For this, he's received a total of 7 Tonys. Mike's first film, amazingly enough, was Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which gave us Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor's greatest film performances and won Elizabeth the Academy Award in 1966. His next film, The Graduate, for which Mike won his first Oscar, was stamped with a unique sense of humor.
Benjamin, would this be easier for you in the dark?
Mrs. Robinson, I can't do this.
You what?
This is all terribly wrong.
Do you find me undesirable?
Oh, no, Mrs. Robinson. I think you're the most attractive of all my parents' friends.
In Joseph Heller's Catch-22, screenplay by Buck Henry, Mike directed Alan Arkin, Anthony Perkins, and many others in a classic war film of humor and horror.
Well, if you could speak to Major Duluth.
The squadron commander.
Yes, and tell him I don't want to fly anymore.
Well,
God's raising up my missions again. He's trying to kill us all, and I can't do it because I'm desperate.
It's not my business to take... I'll see what I can do. I really will. I'm going to do my best.
To do this thing. First I saute the chicken parts, I put them all together, and I put the raisins in the oven. Sweetie pie, you in the car, I do forget. In the
Mike's movies have covered a wide range of geography, exterior and interior.
I remember the first thing that you said to me about Silkwood was you said, I want you to read this, there's a great part in it. And then when I said, yeah, I love it, and you said, I don't care, I don't have to read it. And you went, but sweetheart, I want to tell you one thing. Your part's a lesbian, but she's a really lovely, funny lesbian. And I said, okay, Dad, that's fine.
Y'all, this here's Angela. She's a beautician. Well, hi there.
All of Mike's movies mirror life with a wry twist of humor, but none more than Nora Ephron's Heartburn.
Wait a minute. What if he is a girl? She's gotta be sheltered and fed and dressed in the best that money can buy. I never knew how to make money, but I'll try. By God, I'll try.
A great filmmaker, Mike is also truly an actor's director. His extraordinary insight into characters gives them a rare life.
Daylight, a lot of people around. There's that real romantic little Souvlaki stand out in front of your place. You're in no particular danger, I think.
With Carrie Fisher's Postcards from the Edge, Mike gave us an unforgettable Hollywood mother and daughter.
And don't blame me for your drug taking. I do not blame my mother for my misfortunes or for my drinking.
Well, you don't even acknowledge that you drink. How could you possibly blame your mother for something you don't even do? Remember my 17th birthday party when you lifted your skirt up in front of all those
I
people,
did not lift
including
my
that guy
skirt.
Michael?
It twirled up. You only remember the bad stuff, don't you? What about the big band that I got to play at that party? Do you remember that? No. You only remember that my skirt accidentally twirled up.
And you weren't wearing any underwear.
Well.
His next film, to be released in June, is Wolf, written by Jim Harrison and Wesley Strick. It explores yet another dimension as he delves into the world of the supernatural.
It's interesting. What is it?
It's good luck charm.
Does it work?
Well, today isn't turning out too bad.
Although Mike has already created a true lifetime achievement with an astonishing body of work, his career is just beginning.
He treats people well, and he's nice, and he's gracious, and he writes these hysterically funny notes, and he sends flowers, and he comes backstage, and he talks to you, and he makes you feel good, and he's got this strangely sophisticated, avuncular attitude, and you always go away from Mike thinking that everything is going to be okay, and he's sweet and decent and kind, and, it makes me puke.
Mike Nichols is a very private man. When not working on a movie, he retires to the peace and quiet of his farm in Connecticut, where he enjoys his horses and spends time with his 3 children, Daisy, Max, and Jenny, and his wife, Diane Sawyer. He says that with Diane's new contract, he plans to work less and spend his time taking Diane's phone messages and rinsing out her delicate underthings. So when Mike Nichols gave up medicine, he did follow in his father's footsteps after all. By achieving the most honorable goal that anyone can attain, he gained the respect of his peers. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of this year's Creative Achievement Award, Mike Nichols.
Thank you, Candace. I'm very pleased to have this. I'm very pleased also that I definitely won it. I say that because I'm the man who accepted the Directors Guild Award when I had not won it. After Virginia Woolf, Walter Matthau was the MC at the Directors Guild Awards, and he did the TV Awards, and then he said, for distinguished achievement in feature motion pictures, Mike Nichols, and I went up and I spoke movingly for 5 minutes. And then I sat down and he said, Fred Zinnemann. He was reading the nominees. This actually happened. It was not a good time for me. I flew back to New York with my partner, Elaine May, and got a little bit sick on the plane. And as we were walking across the large space in JFK, I vomited, stepped into it, slipped and fell into it. There was a little circle of people around us saying, that's Mike Nichols. Elaine, who is the perfect partner and friend, did what any perfect friend would do. She went outside, got in a taxi, and went home, which was exactly what I wanted her to do. The following year, I did win the Directors Guild Award. And I lifted the curse that had been on me that year by sending the producer, Larry Terman, to accept it and say, Mike already thanked you last year. I'm very glad to have this. There is not time to thank all the actually great writers and actors that I've worked with, but I do want to thank my dear friend Candy, Richard Dreyfuss, Cher, Wolfman Jack Nicholson, who attended tonight, and my oldest and dearest friend, John Calley, who is friend and producer for 25 years, Anthea Silbert, a great designer. I want to thank all my friends from Columbia and all my friends from CAA that are here. I want to thank my children, Daisy, Max, and Jenny, who keep me honest by saying things like, Dad, you drive like a And in conclusion, I want to thank my brilliant, beautiful, and rich wife. Thank you.
We'll be right back with Tim Allen and Rosie Perez. And now the star of ABC's Home Improvement, Tim Allen.
A producer walks into a director's office. I got talent for you. You got to see this. You got to see this. This girl's great. Director in his office, 30 minutes. She's out the back door. He comes back out. The producer's sitting there. He goes, "What'd you think?" The director says, "Well, she's ugly, knock-kneed, no breasts, no body. Her nose could fill a garage. She can't sing. She has absolutely no talent." The producer says, "That's my daughter." The director says, "Let me finish." Hey, I took a shot. I have to say, to see Dick Van Dyke, Richard Pryor, the guys that started me in this business, that's why it's wonderful to be in this room. In the category for the funniest actor in a motion picture, the nominees are from Sleepless in Seattle, Tom Hanks.
Annie Reed from Baltimore wants to meet us at the top of the Empire State Building on Valentine's Day.
Jonah,
What?
have you fallen down? Are you bleeding? Is Clarice there? Has she been strangled?
No.
I'm not going to have this conversation right now.
From Dave, Kevin Kline.
You're a very handsome man. Thank you, Mr. President. Just get rid of the grin. You look like a schmuck.
From Grumpy Old Men, Jack Lemmon.
If you'd ended up with me, you never would have had Amy. And Amy was a good woman.
She
and
was
one
the best.
damn sight more loyal than me ever was.
Absolutely.
So?
So what?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
So?
What?
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 From Groundhog Day, Bill Murray.
Yeah, 3 cheeseburgers, 2 large fries, 2 chocolate shakes, and 1 large Coke.
And some flapjacks.
Too early for flapjacks?
From Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams.
Miss Helen? The water's boiling. Hello!
And the choice from those who know, the winner is Robin Williams in Mrs. Doubtfire. Now, Robin or his Palestinian Rabin Williams cannot be with us tonight because he's shaving his back for Mrs. Backfire, the new movie they're coming out with. So the man he learned it all from, Jonathan Winters, will accept the award.
Obviously, Robin couldn't be with us this evening. When you're making that kind of money, why show? He once said in an article, it was a small paper, but it counts. He said, Jonathan Winters is my mentor. I disagreed with him. Should be his idol. But at any rate, you know, Robin, I don't care where you are. I am very happy to receive this on your account, and you are a brilliant young man, and you've already done so many movies, my God, and whatever time is left for me, I could never catch up with you. I'm very proud of you, proud of your wealth and your family. The fact that you have large holdings in San Francisco, Nevada, and parts of Paraguay. So this will go on your mantle with many, many more things, young man.
Please welcome Academy Award nominee Rosie Perez and the star of Spick-O-Rama, John Leguizamo.
I'm very pleased tonight to announce the formation of the Latin Comedy Awards wing of the American Comedy Awards, otherwise known as Laka Waka.
Oh yeah, I wanted that part in Fearless, the Jeff Bridges part. That's what I really wanted. I was up for it.
You would have sucked. It's not.
I would have not have sucked. I would have rocked in that part. I was also up for the Daniel Day-Lewis part in The Name of the Father. Look, I'm Black Irish. Oh, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Oh, Lucky Charms, they're magically delicious.
So anyway.
And I could have been an Italian too. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I don't think so. I don't see you in those type of pictures. Why don't you, stick being a Latino and everything like that and stick to your accent, okay?
Thank you, my sister in the struggle. I appreciate that. Thank you for being on my side.
Shut up.
You're going to get this. Just go on, do your thing,
All right, fine. Now, in the category
En la categoría
of funniest actress in a motion picture,
funniest actriz en una película moción,
the nominees are
Angelica Houston in Addams Family Values.
You still desire me after all these years? The old ball and chain.
Forever.
I'll get them.
From Another Stakeout, Rosie O'Donnell.
There is one more thing.
I think that Bill should shave his mustache.
I have had this mustache for 13 years. How long have you had yours?
From Sleepless in Seattle, Meg Ryan.
West, and we expect to arrive in Seattle on schedule.
Don't you hate flying? Yes, I do. I just told the most terrible one to the man I'm about to marry. Do you feel that any lie is a betrayal? I said flying.
From the Beverly Hillbillies, Lily Tomlin.
And of course, basic Boolean algebra.
Miss Jane, I have no idea what you just said.
Oh, Jethro, you are so delightfully primitive.
From Much Ado About Nothing, Emma Thompson.
And the winner is Meg Ryan for Sleepless in Seattle.
Thank you, gang. This is a really nice thing because it gives me a chance to thank a lot of people who've been making me look pretty good. Nora Ephron for letting me be a part of her very charming movie, and the always remarkable Tom Hanks, and Rosie O'Donnell and Bill Pullman, and our producers, Gary Foster and Linda Obst, and all the people at TriStar, past and present. So thank you again. I'm very flattered, and that's all I have to say. Bye.
The 8th Annual American Comedy Awards, brought to you by AT&T. We help put your world within reach. And the new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation.
Well, this show has already been on longer than my series. And I've just been told I shouldn't come back tomorrow night. That's twice in 1 year. Can't believe it. Oh well, see you next year. Or maybe not. Good night.
Travel provided by Continental, which proudly offers the comfort and service of international first class and a business class fare. Continental's Business First to Europe. Accommodations provided by Merv Griffin's Beverly Hilton, the social and business address in Beverly Hills. The Beverly Hilton, so nice to come home to.
I'm Cokie Roberts. Later on Nightline, it may be the ticking time bomb in the debate over health care. Who will pay for abortions tonight?
This is Joan London. And Charles Gibson. Tomorrow, how to protect yourself from the power of the sun this summer. Also, how to cook out inside. Plus, Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks tomorrow on Good Morning America. Here on ABC.
Nominations and awards voted on by comedy performers only. The American Comedy Award selects the Creative Achievement honorees. Some of tonight's winners were notified in advance. Also winning tonight was Elaine May for Lifetime Achievement. Gary Owens speaking.
Watched by more people than any other network. ABC.